Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. To the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. But get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air getting lit. Standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment. Till the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. I'm standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. So let us dance this night away.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everybody. It is Friday. It is ready for a new episode of Beyond the Doll. Let's switch over. Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, welcome. It is Friday. New episode 32 of Beyond the Doll. As always, I'm your host, Shizu-san, for today's episode. And my lovely new girl over here, who is going to make her stunning debut. We'll announce her name in just a few moments. But yeah, a new lady here to welcome us for today's episode. Today's episode is going to be, I don't know, maybe a rather short one, because it's really just a recap episode, so I don't know how much you guys will actually really enjoy this. I've done recap episodes before for cons, and they've gone okay. And hopefully you guys will just really like it. It's been a while. So we're going to recap Anime NYC 2023. It's been about a week since then. Oh, actually, maybe, I guess you could say maybe 2 weeks, I suppose. Yeah, about 2 weeks. I'm a little late to the game. A lot of my other colleagues have already posted their thoughts and their positions on what happened at Anime NYC 2023. I decided, excuse me, I decided not to do my video until way later because I wanted to keep to the schedule that I already have for doing the news and then every other week doing Beyond the Doll. So it just so happened that the very first Friday after Anime NYC was a news week. So to keep in tune with things as they are scheduled, it was the news. And then another week later, we are doing the recap. So that's why we are here now doing it. If you haven't seen it already, My Lady Disdain, John and Sandy already did a very wonderful recap of their experience at Anime NYC. Also, our friends over at Kitten Cat Shop, Anna and Corey, also did a very well very well made video of their trip to Anime NYC. And if I'm still coughing, I know you guys can see that I'm still coughing. I honestly don't know what's wrong with me. I've been to the doctor like a billion times by now, and every time they give me a new medication, and I honestly don't know what's wrong. I have no fever. I have no congestion. I have no sore throat. I have nothing. But I still have this nagging cough that just won't go away. And I have no idea why this cough won't go away. Like, everything else is fine. Like, I'm hunky-dory. But I cough like no tomorrow. Not really sure. So, I have some water. I have some cough drops here to help me through the evening. But, yeah, just want to give you that heads up. That you might hear a lot of that through today's episode. So, before we get started, let's say hello to everybody that is here at the live chat. We got Batman Jackson. Welcome, Batman Jackson, to the stream. PMB Sakura Wood. Welcome. Christina Kowald is here. Our friends over at Kitten Cat Shop, An and Corey. Welcome. Welcome to today's stream. The scruffy looking nerd hoarder. Welcome back to the stream. Tempest. Hey, Tempest, what's up? What's going on? Overlapping doll content emerged. Really? Who's overlapping? Are you and me doing streams at the same time? Are you rating? Are you rating me? Kitten Cat Shop says con crud. I don't know. At this point in time, I don't even know if it's con crud anymore or if it's just my really bad immune system that can't like shake this godforsaken cough that just doesn't go away. Like I said, everything else is fine. I'm not congested. I don't have sore throat. I don't have fever. I have nothing. Just this cough that just won't go away. Christina says, wow, she's stunning. Is she a vampire too? She is a vampire. She definitely is a vampire. Yo, Luxeria Altelier, welcome to the stream, Lux. Such a lovely assistant today. I know. Yeah, today is her stunning debut. So we will talk about her debut in a second. I just want to address everybody that's here in the chat. Cat Shop says, I get chronic cough, Dr. RX pearls that fix it. Really? I'll have to try that. I'll definitely have to try that because so far I've tried like Robitussin, like the regular cough syrup. That didn't work. I've been doing like some Dayquil. That didn't work. That actually made me feel worse because I don't have congestion or sore throat. But when I took Dayquil, it made me feel like I had it even though I didn't. So I stopped taking that. I was thinking about Delsym because Delsym is supposed to be some kind of cough medicine. But I can't get rid of this cough. It's like ridiculous. Oh, Magical Girl Kit Kat is streaming. Oh, I did not know that. What's up, Kat? If you're rating, if you're streaming or whatever, and you see this, what's up, Kat? How you doing? What's going on? Let me see. Tempest said the same thing. Might get a raid from Magical Girl Kit Kat. Hey, whatever helps. I mean, I don't mind, raid or not. I'm just happy that everybody's here and ready to start the evening on some Anime NYC recap. So this year, just to preface, this year for Anime NYC, we had a very special guest come down. Of course, Mr. Danny Chu from Smart Dog came down to Anime NYC, set up a booth for all 3 days. Excuse me. He set up a booth for all 3 days, and it was amazing. Everybody came down. Everybody had fun. It was kind of a last-minute thing because of travel issues and logistics and everything. Wasn't sure if he can even get flight tickets to even come to New York City. So, yeah, it was kind of last minute, and I understand some people got a little upset because they really, really wanted to go. They really wanted to meet Danny, and they just had no idea he was coming. And that's understandable because, you know, like I said, he was having logistic issues getting here, problems getting, airplane tickets, hotel, things like that. The booth itself was secure. It's just actually getting to New York was the biggest issue. So when he finally was able, as soon as he was able to solidify plans and make sure that he was definitely going, then he announced it. But I realized that at that point, most of the tickets were sold out. So most people didn't get to go until Sunday. Because from what I heard was Sunday was one of the last days that was still available for tickets up until like the week before. the actual event. So we're going to go through this day by day. And before we start off with day one, because everybody's been asking already, yes, this is my beautiful new girl. This is Transcendence in Coco. John likes to call her the kitchen sink because she has literally everything. So basically, she's got the Coco, she's got the vitiligo, she's got the cyber markings, she's got the fangs because she's Transcendence. She also, I don't know if you guys can't see it in this picture, but right here, she's got the mechanical arms. So she does have these robotic mechanical arms on her. And she just looks absolutely amazing. And I was super stunned to get her, especially because I actually don't have a Coco doll yet. I've been meaning to get a Coco doll for the longest time. It's just I haven't really bonded with any of them, except for Majesty. And then Majesty wasn't available. She did come back as a floating head, but I didn't have a Coco body for her, so I was kind of like, I'll wait till she kind of gets a whole body thing. But despite that fact, I was presented with a lovely gift, and I have now Transcendence here. Thing about Transcendence is that as beautiful as she is, and I like her name, I need to change it because there's too many Transcendences out there in the world, and it's kind of long, at least for my taste, which is weird. I know. I'm kind of like, what's the word? I'm being hypocritical or second guessing myself. No, like, because I say it's kind of long, but then I have other dolls that have long names, so I'm being a little bit like stupid about that. But I want to change her name, and I want it to be something somewhat shorter, but something that really represents her to me, and at least for me, because like the thing that really stands out about this doll for Transcendence is that not only is she the kitchen sink, but she just looks badass. Like, pardon my French, but she looks badass. Like, she looks like she's about to take out an entire army about all by herself. I mean, she's got like the athletic gear on. She's got the biomechanical boots on. She's got the bio arms on. She's ready to do battle. She's got the fangs going. She's got the cyber markings. She's just ready to do war. And I was like, what's a really cool name for a doll that is just ready to go for it? She's just ready to go to war, right? Can't just really call her War Girl or War Paint or something like that. But I was like, what's akin to something that's like that, but it's beautiful at the same time, right? So here we go, people. This is what I came up with, and it might be silly, but her new name is going to be Artemis. Everybody meet Artemis. Artemis is my new Transcendence Coco Vitiligo Cyber Shell girl with fangs. Half vampire, half human. Very nice. Yay! Everybody welcome Artemis to the stream. Welcome Artemis to the new doll family here in the Shizusan household. Kitten Cat Shop says not kitchen sink, more like yummy Rocky Road ice cream. Yeah, I guess that's true. It's kind of like a yummy Rocky Road ice cream. Tempest says, ooh, it's your first Coco? Yes, my first Coco. I've been meaning to get one for so long. I guess technically she's not my first Coco. I do have an OG Coco Chitose. But she has no body. She's a floating head. So I could put the OG Chitose on this body, but I mean, it's got the cyber shell markings and like Transcendence markings. I mean, she's got to have this body. I got to find another body for OG Chitose. Kitten Cat Shop says 100% support name change or nicknames. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know. For people that know me for a while, I usually like to keep the dolls as their original standard names. Unless it's something that I feel like there's something different about the doll that needs a new name. And I feel like Transcendence over here has like a bit of everything that just makes her a little cool. and I figured Artemis, because Artemis is the goddess of the hunt, and Transcendence here. She looks like she's about to hunt someone down. That's really what it is. She looks like she's a hunter that's about to hunt somebody down in the post-apocalyptic era of the cyberpunk universe. Like, she just looks badass. So she gets the name Artemis. Let's see. Fanatic Free says, "Hey guys, somewhat new owner here. Does anyone know if it's normal that my DD face is starting to look shiny? Is not oil, even after washing gently with water, face stays shiny." That's a hard one to answer, because yes, it could be oil, but also it could just be from where. Like, do you keep your doll anywhere near a window or sunlight? Because sometimes the sunlight could make it kind of yellow, but not necessarily yellow, but it gives it like this gloss. So I usually try to avoid like keeping the dolls in sunlight for too long, unless they're outside taking photos, things like that. Now, that's only like one aspect or avenue of what it could be. But definitely I see you already wash the face gently. See if you could wash it, like let it air dry, or, put like a small little dry cloth to dry off some of the suds so you don't get watermarks or anything. But that's pretty much, at least to my knowledge, the best that you can do at that point. But definitely if it's oily, you want to use some kind of a light, like warm water, like a room temperature water with a little bit of soap and just kind of lightly clean the face and then dry it up. I think that should get rid of the shininess, but again, that's just my 2 cents on that. I could be wrong. Maybe there's some people in the chat that can help out on advice on that. Let's see. Tempest Strife says Makoto like the Major. Yeah, she is cyber like the Major, but she's not entirely the Major herself. Although, I wouldn't be opposed to a Dolphy Dream or a Smart Doll collaboration of the Major. That would be pretty damn awesome. Christina says, what about the name Jewel? Jewel's a nice name, but it doesn't really inspire the hunt. Scruffy looking nerd hoarder says, you want original or anime referencing? He's like, he knows the reference. It's Artemis from Ready Player One. That's not where I got the name from. I actually didn't pick Artemis from Ready Player One, although that's pretty funny that you put those two together, because that kind of does give it the same effect. But no, I actually was thinking of like goddess of war or goddess of hunting and things like that, and that's how I came across Artemis, and I was like, Artemis sounds cool, so stuck with Artemis. Marie Verlet says Artemis rocks. Christine says great name. Tempest says could be wear, could be plastics releasing out, could be oil. Yeah, it's a lot of different things. It's not really just one thing that you can hammer it down to. That's the unfortunate part. That's why it's kind of hard to answer that. But just do what you can to try to clean the face up a little bit. But don't be too hard, because you don't want to wipe off like the makeup. No, what else we got? Mika7 says, I love the name Artemis for her. It fits her so well. I thought so too. Kid Cat Shop says cornstarch, dry cornstarch. Scruffy equals Corey. Oh. I keep forgetting that Scruffy is Corey. I should put 2 and 2 together, though. I really should. That's my fault. All right. So, after the wonderful debut of Artemis here, let's get into the topic of Anime NYC. Ugh, this stupid cough. All right, so we're gonna change views. All right, now we can't see Artemis, but that's okay. First up, day 1 of New York City. So there's this structure at New York City right next to the Jacob Javits Center. I believe it's called the Hive or something like that. I honestly don't remember the official name. It's this really cool architectural thing that you could climb up, take pictures, blah, blah, blah. Problem is that on its initial release, people started jumping off the top of it and killing themselves. I don't know why people were doing this. so they had to close it down so nobody can go up there. Apparently, they tried to reopen it again in 2021, and then somebody else jumped off the top of it, and now it is closed permanently. So you cannot go up and down this thing ever again. It's just a gigantic sculpture now in the Hudson Yards, right next to where the Jacob Javits Center is, where Anime NYC happens. Now, the reason why I'm telling you guys this is not to bring the mood down. I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer or whatever. The reason is because if you can see, I know the picture, I know the picture is kind of small, but right here in this bottom area where all this green is and all this like stonework is, that was my first stop before I hit Anime NYC, because it didn't start till 2 p.m. and I was in the city early to do some shopping at B&H Photo, get some lunch, things of that nature. So I said I had time to kill, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a photography session right here in New York City. I haven't done it in a couple of years because of the pandemic and everything, so I'm gonna do it now. So I chose this area right here where all the bricks are and all the grass is. I literally was standing right next to this tree. I was taking pictures. Now, initially, I wanted to get the hive in the background, but the thing was too damn big and I was too damn close, so I couldn't fit it. So all I had was just the bricks, really. And there were a lot of people watching me take pictures, and they were like, what is that? And then people were taking pictures of me taking pictures. So it's like a whole Inception thing. It's like there's like this doll, I'm taking pictures of the doll, and there's other people taking pictures of me taking pictures of the doll. It was just like this whole like production, which it wasn't meant to be, but it garnered a lot of attention. And I want to show you the pictures that came out of this. So here's the first one. This is C2. I wanted to get like an overhead shot of her. So I kind of like had her down on the bottom of the steps, and then I was kind of like standing right on top of her, like taking pictures. And this was the picture that I initially took. This is the raw footage, no edits, no nothing. And then with the edits, this is kind of how it went. I kind of zoomed in a little. I gave her a slight bit of tilt. I put some bokeh on there, or whatever you call it. What do you call those things? I think it's called bokeh, right? Like those little light leaks or whatever. I put a little bit of that on there, put my tag on there, and there you go. You have a wonderful and beautiful picture of C2 from outside the hive. Now, another picture that I took while I was there was this one. Again, right next to those cement brick walls that were laid up. And I wanted to have something where her hair was flowing. And luckily enough, the wind was blowing pretty hard. So all I had to do was just separate her hair, and the wind just kind of like took the rest. So this is the original raw footage, right next to the tree, right next to the hive. And then after a little bit of editing magic, it kind of came into this. So I cleaned it up a little bit. I kind of bokeh'd the background, kind of like faded it out a little bit, did a little vignette around the outsides of it, and then popped in some color, and this is what we got. So you have the original photo, and then you have, oh, I went too far. And then you have the edited photo. So, oh my God, my mouse is freaking out on me. Original photo, and then edited photo. Oh my God, it's like everything in my office is breaking. If it's not my chair, now it's my mouse. I swear to God, I have bad luck with electronics, people. Seriously. Okay, so other pictures. Because the event had Smart Doll and stuff, and I'm a huge fan of Smart Doll, but I am also a fan of Dolphy Dream, so I brought a Dolphy Dream with me for the doll meetup, because obviously I can't display a Dolphy Dream at the Smart Doll booth, so I brought one with me for the doll meetup on Saturday, and that is my lovely Mercedes. Mercedes is a DDH11 D-Cord. So she is the D-Cord exclusive head. And I wanted to give her that New York City girl look. And this is what I got. So I kind of wanted to make her look like one of those fashionable girls that be walking down Madison Avenue looking all fly. But apparently she looked like she was a British girl in London. Because this looks a little bit more like, I asked my wife and she was like, yeah, she doesn't look like she belongs in New York City. She looks like she belongs in London. And I was like, how do you know? Neither of us have ever been to London. So, but this is what it came out to be. This is the original photo of Mercedes. And then if I can just do it once, there's the edited photo. So I kind of tilted her a little bit. I kind of moved the frame to tilt her a little bit. I just did a little bit of contrast to pop the colors out and some vignette to kind of make it look deep. But yeah, came out pretty nice. And then the other one I had of her is this one here. This is another raw footage of her holding her bag in her hands. This was getting a little difficult. I had to crop it a certain way because the crowd, like behind this bush here, there was like a crowd of people. I swear to God, it was like maybe 10 or 12 people that were taking pictures of me taking pictures of this doll. So if you see those photos floating around the internet on Twitter or something, where they're like, oh my God, look at this guy taking pictures of a doll. Yeah, that was me, obviously, if you can't tell from the picture, but there was a bunch of people taking pictures of me taking pictures of this doll. So there's that. So that's her holding the bag in her hands this time. I wanted to kind of get a somewhat different look. And then the edited photo, oh, too far. Edited photo came out a little bit like this. Again, same thing. I just kind of blurred out the background, had it focus on her, and then popped out the colors a little bit more, so it looked a little bit deeper. But yeah, that was like prior to Anime NYC like activities. Was getting the dolls all set up and having their pictures taken, etc., etc. So after that is when I actually went into the building. So it's literally a block away. Like you could see the hive from the con center. So I went to the con center and then met up with Danny and staff. Yo, Benjamin, welcome to the stream, Ben. So I went and I met the staff in the front lobby of the convention center, the Jacob Javits Center, and this is what it looks like here. So as most of you know, or some of you know, I was helping out Danny Chu at his booth this year, in order to help him set up, in order to help him with customers coming through, explaining the whole process of Smart Doll, what they are, where to get them, etc., etc., etc. So I was there helping out at the booth, and this is what it looked like on day one on Friday when we were still kind of setting everything up. You could see here, this is the front line of girls that were on display, and this other L-shaped part going into the corner, that is what we called the backstage. So that's where all the owners, Smart Dolls were hanging out, and you got a little special badge too if your doll was on display there. Now, the thing about Danny Chu is that every convention that he goes to, and not even just conventions, even his store shop, everything like that, he's very particular on how he sets up his product, how he displays them. And you could see it, like everything in this picture is very neatly assorted. Like all the dolls have just about exactly the same space between each for the most part. And then all the cards that have little infographics and stuff like that are separated almost exactly the same amount of space apart. Like he's very particular. Especially on like how the dolls' heads are looking up at customers as they walk by. And here's a picture of, too fast. Here's a picture of Danny Chu, making sure that everything is just how he wants it. So I know that most of you don't get to see this part of it because, you're not there with him when he's setting up. Obviously, most people are waiting outside to get into the convention center, but he does spend a lot of time just going back and forth, like checking the dolls, like triple checking, quadruple checking, making sure everything is up to par for Smart Doll Land standards. And obviously it's a good job because the displays always turn out perfect. Like they just look amazing. And then we took a photo after all the dolls were set up. Actually, during this point in time, the VIP members were already walking in. So if you're not familiar, there's the excuse me, there's the normal attendees that pay the normal badge prices, and then there's the VIP attendees that pay a whopping amount of money to get in early. So just to give you an idea, if you buy a 3-day badge, I believe it was $150 for 3 days. If you buy the VIP badge, it was like $500, roughly around $500. And what that does is the VIP badge lets you get into the con. I think it's a half an hour earlier than everybody else. You also get a lot of other things. So you get a goodie bag, you get like a shirt, you get like all these extra passes and things. And like for autograph sessions, for guest panels or industry panels, you get to go in first. So it's not just like one thing. It's like a whole collection of things. Personally, I think it's a little too expensive for what you get, but depending on the person, like if you really value getting in before everybody else, or if you really value being the first one to get like autographs or sitting up close in like an industry panel setting, then it's definitely worth it for you. I have friends that get the VIP badge every single year, but I can't stomach paying $500 for a VIP badge. Anyways, when we were here taking this picture, all the VIP people were coming in and they were kind of like watching us like take this selfie thing. This is a thing that Danny likes to do at every con. He likes to take a picture of everybody that's helping out at the booth the day of or the morning of before everybody gets let in. But this is just a very nice picture. It's Danny, his wife Jay, and me, and I-chan, which I-chan is basically his right-hand man. Does everything and anything over in Smart Doll Land. Aside from Danny Chu himself. Let me cough down. Let me chug down on another cough drop because this cough is ridiculous, I'm telling you. All right. So, let's move on. All right, so here's the booth a little bit later in the day. This is probably like, I don't know, maybe like 4 p.m. or something later in the day. You could see that all the other backstage dolls are set up here. Artemis is here on the corner, just chilling. And you have my C2 and my Courage in Galactic Gray all the way at the very end. We had the Black Navy doll, which is John and Sandy's over here. You have the Pear-shaped doll over here, and you have the Megan cosplay. Now, there was also the Wednesday cosplay, but I wasn't able to get pictures of Wednesday for some reason. I don't know why. I think I was talking to customers or something, and I forgot to take a snapshot of Wednesday when she was out. But this is what it looked like when the backstage started filling up a little bit more. Now, some notable girls. There were a lot of girls on display. About like, I think it was like 12 girls or 10 girls that Danny brought over to display. And this one by far was my favorite. This is Marvel in the pear-shaped body in T. And she is gorgeous. She was 100% a prototype, so nobody got to go home with her. But she is absolutely gorgeous. This was by far my favorite pear-shaped girl that he brought over to display for everybody to see. There was a couple of them. There was like a pear-shaped Marvel, a pear-shaped Future, pear-shaped Fortitude, pear-shaped Beyond, I think, or pear-shaped Never Say Never. I think Kitten Cat Shop got the, which one? The Live and Let Live Coco one, I think. So yeah, there was a bunch of them, but Marvel over here in T definitely went back with Danny. That was one of his favorite ones. It was also a prototype anyway, so he brought that one back. But that was definitely my favorite of the pear-shaped girls that were on display. Like, something about her just spoke to me. She was just gorgeous. I really, really enjoyed seeing her. And then the other one that I thought was like really interesting was this one here. Now, this one, I can't remember what the name was. She was either Fortitude, I think, or Future or something. I can't remember her name. But the reason why I'm displaying this picture for you guys is because she has this tattoo on here. And this tattoo was amazing. Like, you can even see it in the pictures in today's stream. Like, it just looks good. But seeing it in person had a whole different thing to it. Now, I say that all the time on my channel, that like pictures, videos don't do dolls justice. You have to see them in person. They got this whole aura about them, and they really do. And this tattoo is no different. So my understanding is that this tattoo, I'm sorry, I'm sucking on this cough drop. This tattoo in particular took about a day and a half to do, and it was hand painted. Obviously, that is not a business model statement that Danny Chu is going to keep forward. Like, he doesn't have enough time or staff to devote a day and a half to one tattooed arm for each product. Like, that would take way too long and way too overexhausted. But it is an attempt to see if individuals at Anime NYC in particular, because that's where we're displaying it, was more receptive to a girl that had tattoos on. I mean, historically, Culture Japan or Smart Doll is a Japanese company based in Tokyo, Japan. And for those of you that are not familiar, tattoos are a little bit of a taboo over there. Back in the day, it used to signify like people in gangs, like Yakuza and things like that, and they weren't really allowed to in certain places if they had tattoos because of that connotation. Nowadays, things are a little bit different. There's a lot of people that have tattoos, especially all over the world. Japan is still under that kind of weird sphere influence where tattoos kind of equal like gangs and things like that, but it's starting to change. It's starting to come around. You're starting to see a lot more Japanese people that have tattoos, but unfortunately, the rules are still kind of in place. Like certain places like onsens and things like that don't let in people with tattoos. Although I hear that's starting to change in certain areas. But anyways, long story short, this kind of reaches out to a global market of individuals because a lot of people all around the world do have tattoos. And because Smart Doll likes to push the narrative that they are about diversity and inclusivity, why not representation for individuals with tattoos? I'm all for it. I don't have any tattoos myself, but I really want one. And the only reason why I haven't gotten a tattoo yet, and it's the lamest reason ever, is just because I don't know what to get, right? I always have these cool ideas in my head. Like, what was the idea? Have you guys ever watched the anime called Claymore? There's this anime called Claymore about these like these young girls that like defeat demons and monsters and things like that because they ingest demon and monster stuff and they gain these superpowers, whatever. I don't want to spoil the whole thing. But anyways, each warrior has a symbol that represents them. And I was in this weird phase where it's like, oh, my favorite character was Teresa, the faint smile. And I love her symbol. I want to get it tattooed. I want to get it on the back of my neck. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I legit was going to do it. And then my wife talked me out of it because she was like, really? Really? That's what you're going to put an anime thing on the back of your neck? I was like, yeah. But then like I thought about it and I was like, I don't know. In a couple years, it may not look like the same symbol. It might like just look like an addition sign on the back of my neck. Like, and that's what and that's what stops me from getting tattoos because it's like, it's so finite. It's so permanent. And if it's something that I put on that I may like now, but then I don't like in the future, it's like I'm kind of stuck with it. And I know there's other things like you can do professional tattoo removing, or you could do professional tattoo cover-ups where you could like cover up the old tattoo with something else that looks cool. And those are all well valid points and good points. But I just can't seem to lock down like that one image or that one thing that represents me that I want to have represented on my body. So I have like this like infatuation with tattoos because I want one so bad, but I just don't know what to get or how to get or whatever. So like I'm all down for Smart Dolls with tattoo options. How they're going to happen, I don't know. Is he going to hand paint them all? I highly doubt it. Is it going to be something like a paint mask, like how they do the face-ups? Maybe. Or is it going to be like a sticker thing that you can just kind of like rub the sticker onto the body and then that's it? Who knows? I don't know. But I'm all for this idea. I'm 100% all for it. Kitten Cat Shop says, I-Chan was so fun to talk to. He is. He's a funny dude. I-Chan is a funny dude. First production models, not prototypes. Yes, live and let live. Okay, so yeah, you got live and let live. Oh. Your favorite was Marvel too? I know, Marvels look so good. Let's see. I wonder if water slide decals would work, but not anywhere with lots of friction. Yeah, I think water slide decals would work. Just never tried it, to be honest. But I think they could work. Ben says Kat and I have multiple. It's like Pringles. It's hard to stop. That's what I feel like too. I feel like it's like dolls. You know, everybody in this chat knows this already. And if you don't, you're about to learn it. When you buy your very first Smart Doll or your very first doll in general, you're like, hey, this doll's so expensive. This is gonna be my one doll. I'm just gonna get the one doll because it's so much money. I don't have money to buy doll after doll after doll, right? Fast forward a couple years later, they multiply. You have like 10, 20 dolls by now. I imagine it's the same with tattoos. Like you get one, and then you're like, yeah, I kind of want another one, and then you get another one, and you get another one, and you get another one. So I can understand the idea behind that, Ben. Totally. What Kitten Cat Shop says? I have a 25-year-old swallow completely faded. Oh, swallow as in the bird. I was a little confused by that statement for a second there. But yeah, I mean, things like that happens. Like sometimes they get faded, sometimes they get distorted. So you need like a touch up, as Ben said. Yo, Lovely Day, welcome to the stream, Lovely. It's great to see you. It's great to have you here. How you been doing? How you been doing? Kitten Cat Shop says expensive as dolls. I heard tattoos are pretty expensive too. Lovely says famous last words and then they multiply. I know. Everybody in the doll hobby knows this phrase because everybody in the doll hobby went through it. It's such an expensive hobby, and you save up so hard to get your first doll. And then when you finally get one, you're like, oh, this is my one true doll. It'll be the only doll for me. And then, like, fast forward a couple years, you got like 10 or 20 dolls by now. Ben Benjamin says, I traded tattoos for dolls. That should be on a shirt. Dude, that should be on a shirt. John and Sandy, are you listening? Because that's a good idea. PMB Sakura says, Dolphy Dream Miku first edition used a water slide decal for the one tattoo. Had to apply that and some Mr. Super Clear to seal it. It has been on there for a few years, no yellowing. Yeah. I heard that the Hatsune Miku had the tattoo for the one on the arm. I just wasn't sure exactly like how well that holds up with time. But it's nice to know that if you put some Mr. Super Clear, it stays pretty well. That's pretty good advice. Did not know that. So that's definitely something that we could do with our smart dolls, is use water slide decals as well, and then put some Mr. Super Clear. I do know that Danny, I shouldn't say I do know. If I remember correctly, I believe Danny said for this particular girl with the tattoo, I think he did say they put a little Mr. Super Clear over that to make sure that it doesn't like peel or anything like that. So yeah, that's some good advice, PMB Sakura. Scruffy says, dolls know how to use credit cards, just not their own. True story. That's facts right there. Temp says, all fading out. Love you, though. Husband going on a Wawa run to build his new computer. All right, Tempest. Have a good night. Tell Jesse I said hi. Marie says, they need a friend. This is very true. If they're under 25 centimeters, they don't count. No, I think they still count. Some of those 25 centimeter dolls can be pretty expensive. They could go for around like $200, $300. That's still a pretty penny. It's not as much as these larger dolls, but still, I think they still count, Tempest. Tempest is imagining a Ratatouille situation. Yeah, Kitten Cat Shop is gonna resort to printing out their own dolls. Yeah, for sure. You guys are printing out so much cool stuff. I will not be surprised if at one point in time you guys have a smart doll that you just printed yourself. I know you're probably working on it by now. Magical Girl Kit Kat, welcome to the stream, Kat. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you here. We're doing a little recap of Anime NYC 2023. Speaking of which, now that Kat is here on the stream and Ben is here on the stream, an interesting point that I thought was really cool was our lovely friends at My Lady Disdain, John and Sandy, when they came to Anime NYC on Friday, they actually FaceTime Magical Girl Kit Kat and Ben. So Kat and Ben actually got to enjoy Anime NYC 2023 along with us through FaceTime. And if I'm not mistaken, Kat, both of you got to speak with Danny for a little bit on FaceTime as well, which is very, very awesome, very cool. You had that Danny Chu experience. Tempest says there is a male body that is compatible with the heads on Thingiverse, I think, or 3D cults. When you say compatible with the heads, are you talking about like smart doll heads? Like if you wanted to put smart doll heads on the male body? I think that's what you're referring to, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. All right. So moving on. That was like a long-winded story, but yeah, moving on. Kat says, I got to see... says, I got to see Danny's face and say hi. I didn't know what else to say because I panicked. Oh, that's so cute. Listen, that happens to all of us, okay? That happens to all of us. Like, when you meet an individual that has brought something into your life or has done something to your life that has changed it in a way, and, you know, you look up to them for whatever the reasons may be, either for creativity, for business savvy, whatever, mentorism, whatever it may be, and then you meet them in person, hell yeah, everybody's going to get choked up. Everybody's going to get panicky because, you know, it's a big deal. You don't normally get that experience through most things. Like, let's take sports, for example. If you have a favorite sports player that you like, more likely than not, you're not going to be able to meet them. You may see them in person, like at an event, and you may like wave from a distance or whatever, or maybe there might be an instance where you get to get an autograph from them and you get a small little one-on-one time with them. But that's like very rare and few and far between, unless you're like super like paparazzi about it and like you follow the individual everywhere. But yeah, I think it's normal for when people meet their quote unquote like heroes or mentors or whatever to be a little flabbergasted. I know I was. The very first time I met Danny, I was definitely super nervous. I tried to keep it really cool and collected when I talked to him. I was just like, "Oh yeah, hey, how's it going? How you doing today?" You know, like very nervous, and I'm pretty sure he could tell. But you know, it's just like one of those moments, like when you meet that individual that has changed something in your life or provided something in your life that has meaning. It definitely will make anybody like, you know, choke or trip up like that. I feel like that's normal reaction there, Kat. Yeah, Tempest says compatible with smart doll heads. Marie Velez says, I will freeze if I ever meet Danny in person. Ella, I've been following him since the Dancing Stormtroopers days. Yeah, I think a lot of us have been following him since the Stormtrooper days. But yeah, the best advice I can give you, Maria, is if you meet him, don't hesitate to take the chance to walk up to him and just be like, hey, how are you doing? And introduce yourself. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of nerves because, you know, obviously it's someone that you really respect. But believe me when I tell you, Danny wants, as best as he can, he wants to meet and talk to everybody. Like, he wants your input to know, like, what it is you like about Smart Doll, why you chose Smart Doll, you know, things like that. What do you do with Smart Doll? Like, he just wants to get to know his customers and, like, what they like about his products because, you know, that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you moving, is when you hear from other people, like, you know, how your products influence you and things like that. He loves talking to the customers, as many as he can. And he loves taking pictures with them as well. He takes selfies with every customer that comes and talks to him. So Marie, if you ever meet him, I know it's nerve-wracking, but you definitely need to go up to him and just be like, hey, what's up, man? Kat says exactly freeze or cry are my responses. I could definitely sympathize with that, for sure. Gosh damn this cough. Mika7 says, I was super nervous when I met Danny the first. I was like a broken record when I was talking to him. Yeah, me too. I stuttered a lot. Actually, you might even see it if you watch on my channel my very first interview with Danny Chu. You could tell I was nervous. Like, my voice cracked a couple times. I stuttered on a few of the questions. It was it was definitely nerve-wracking for sure. Okay, so let's keep moving on because we have 2 more days to cover. So this is still day 1. At the end of day 1, at the end of day 1 of Anime NYC, we went out to go eat, and John and Sandy came along with us, and we went to this really nice like dumpling restaurant. It was a very delicious restaurant. If anything, if there's one thing that you guys should know about Smart Doll Land and the Smart Doll team, is that Danny is the creator, right? Like, he's the brains of the operation. He's the one that comes up with the ideas, and he's like, this is what Smart Doll is going to be about, and these are the dolls we're going to make, and this is what I want to do. But on the other side of that coin, there's his wife, Jay. His wife, Jay, is the one in the red here on the white. She is probably one of the coolest people out there. I know that My Lady Disdain and Anna and Corey from Kitten Kat Shop have already voiced their opinions on how cool Jay is. But Jay doesn't get enough exposure because she likes to hide in the shadows. But she is like one of the coolest people that you could ever talk to and hang out with. And Jay knows her food. She always picks like these places that have like the most amazing dishes and like things that I've never eaten before that I normally wouldn't eat. Like, I usually eat if Jay says it's good. Like, excuse me. Like, if she orders something and she's just like, yeah, this is really good. Have you ever had this before? I'm like, nah, I never had it before. She'll be like, oh, it's good. And I'll just be like, okay. And then I'll eat it. And it's like, hands down, like one of the best things I ever ate. So like, she knows her food. This woman knows her food like no tomorrow. Definitely, if you need food advice, I would ask Jay. She knows everything about food. But that was the end of day one. It was just me, John and Sandy, and Danny and the team working the booth that day. Now, day two. Here's the beginning of day two. We set up the booth. We took our, our regular selfie photos that we always take. Oh my God, this cough! I swear to God. We take our normal photos that we always take. So it's Danny and Jay and Alphon. There's me. My daughter is actually in the photo. She's rarely ever in photos. And then this individual over here, he actually runs. I don't know if he runs a booth or he's a member of staff. I think it's more appropriate to say he's a member of staff for Otakuthon, which is another convention. And he's also one of the individuals that's been helping Danny for like in the past with things. So he was actually there that day on day two for Anime NYC. And then going on to the next picture. Okay. Oh, I went to, yeah, I think I didn't put anything else. Yeah, I know. My daughter's smiling. She doesn't usually smile like because she's so shy in person, but she does smile for photos. And then because day two was immensely crazy. Like, I'm talking, if you're not familiar how conventions work, Saturday is usually the busiest day on a 3-day con. So if you have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday con, Saturday is huge. That's where the most people come because people are off of work and they don't have to go to work the next day, like Sunday. So everybody comes on a Saturday. And it was packed in the conventions hall. Like, there was just people upon people piling over each other. And the Smart Doll booth was no exception. Like, we had people coming to the booth like every minute, every second of the time. Like, and Danny and Alphon and myself and My Lady Disdain were completely like busy, like talking and helping people and informing people about Smart Doll, what they do, what they are, etc., etc. Just super busy that I barely got a chance to take any photos on Saturday. There was just like no time to take photos on Saturday. It was just incredibly busy. But what we did do was I hosted a doll meetup for individuals that came out on a Saturday, and the doll meetup was for everybody. So it wasn't just Smart Doll owners. It was a outcry to all doll owners within the vicinity of New York City. If you were coming to the con to hang out and meet up other members of the doll family here on the East Coast and just, get to mingle and show off your dolls and just have overall fun. So we had that, and I have a few pictures from the meetup. And we had a great, great time. So the meetup itself ended up being huge. We got the same table, wildly enough, we got the same table that we got last year. So it's this giant table that you could see here in the middle of the food court area across from Starbucks. And we had several owners come out. We definitely had more people come out this year than we had last year. And we definitely had way more dolls on display this year than last year. It also, because of the location of the table, and this is why we try to have the doll meetup here, the location of the table is like central to the entrance. So when you come into the convention hall, you don't normally see it. But once you pass the entrance and you go through the mag detectors, in the very center of the building is like these escalators that go downstairs into the food court area. And you could kind of see a little bit of the railings here on the upper half of the picture. But literally, anyone passing by this area looking down into the food court will see these dolls on display. It's just a big, huge eye attraction. And we had a lot of people come down asking us questions, taking pictures, be like, where did you buy these? Where'd you get these? Did you make these dolls? All those normal questions that doll owners usually get when you go out in the wild kind of thing. So the majority of the dolls that were on display were smart dolls because obviously Danny Chu was there. So a lot of smart doll owners did turn out to the event. But we had quite a number of Dolphy Dreams as well. My voice is like cracking now. So we had quite a number of Dolphy Dream owners as well, including myself. So this first picture here, we have my Dolphy Dream, my Mercedes over here. We have John and Sandy's, I forgot her name, but it's their pear-shaped girl in the kigurumi. We have Keith C2 over here, dressed up all fly. And then we have the Chizuru from Rent a Girlfriend, from PMB Sakura, actually, who attended the event. A very lovely doll here. And then these two on the ends are Dolphy Dreams, if I'm not mistaken. Mine's a Dolphy Dream, and I believe the Chizuru is a Dolphy Dream. Then why did it do that? On the left-hand side, we had more dolls on display. Over here in the teal is another Dolphy Dream, Amelia, that was there. We have a Transcendence here. We have two AGs, right? So we have the original OG Coco, and we have the Crimson one. And this is the original Crimson, not Crimson Kai. And then I believe Journey, the original Mirai that Keith brought over, which is just amazing to see the original Mirai in all her glory. Oh, Chizuru is a smart doll? Sorry, PMB. So Chizuru is a smart doll. I thought she was Dolphy Dream. So she was a smart doll. The Amelia is a Dolphy Dream. Then we have the Nezuko over here, which is a custom Nezuko, which is really cool from one of our good friends, Liz, I think it was. And then we have two other dolls here at the end. I swear I got a good picture of this doll, but I couldn't find it for the stream. But this doll at the very end in the black actually has a custom-made third eye, which looked really, really cool. I couldn't find the picture. I know I had one, but I couldn't locate it for some reason. And then on the other side of the table, we have OG Kizuna here. We have the motorbike. So for those of you that are not familiar, do you guys remember that Danny Chu made a motorbike out of computer parts? Well, we had one on display at the booth and at the doll meetup, and that thing is huge. It's very big. Thank you, Keith, for bringing one over for everybody to see. And we have more smart dolls here, along with a Nier Automata 2B, and John and Sandy's other Courage and Tea that was hanging out here on the end here. And that was, I believe, everything. Yeah, that was everything. That was all the pictures that I got for the doll meetup at Anime NYC 2023. And you could see in the picture here too, up on the edge here, you could see the people that are looking down from the second floor. It's like a really great place to display dolls. Now, we did have a giveaway that I was doing where grand prize actually got to win a doll wig cap, as well as a $10 gift card to Starbucks. That's like my favorite thing to give out because it's easy and everybody loves Starbucks. So we had multiple winners for the scavenger hunt. Thank you everybody that participated in the scavenger hunt. And thank you for playing along. I hope you enjoyed your gifts. I hope you stayed heavily caffeinated for the rest of the day with your new Starbucks gift cards. Oh my goodness, this cough is just brutal. All right, now the end of day 2, we went out to another. I don't know what I'm going to do with this cough. It's ridiculous. We went out to another restaurant, this dim sum restaurant. I think it was called Tim Wohan, which is a very popular. I want to say it's a Taiwanese dim sum restaurant. Not 100% sure. I mean, it could be anything, but it was dim sum regardless. There's a couple locations in New York City, so if you're in New York City, definitely try it out if you like dim sum. There was a lot of really, really cool food. We really enjoyed ourselves, had a good time, just, talking with Danny and the staff and just, talking about how the con went, how everybody was doing, things of that nature. It was definitely a lot of fun. It's something that I how else do I say this? It's something that means a lot to me, and I'm pretty sure it means a lot to everybody else that's involved. And I never ever take this for granted. It's just having that opportunity, being given that opportunity to, have some one-on-one time with Danny and his team, and his close friends that attend these meets is definitely one of the highlights of I don't want to say like my entire life, because there's a lot of highlights, as you go through life, but it's definitely a very treasured experience, and it will always be something that I treasure from day one. It's just I don't want to be one of those people that look a gift horse in the mouth kind of thing and be like, oh yeah, we're definitely going to do it again, because you never know. You never know what happens in the future. You never know, what situations may arise that prevent things or induce things to happen. So like, you just got to live in the moment, and it's moments like these where you get a chance to really open up and get to know each other, where I really appreciate it the most. So I do want to give my extended heartfelt thanks to Danny, Jay, Aichan, and everybody that's involved in the whole production of Smart Doll and doing events abroad, because without you guys, it's just comforting. It's just comforting to hang out and just talk and just go over just life and stuff, and it's just really it's special. It's special, and I just want to say thank you. So if any of you are watching, thanks. It was really a great time, really great experience. So let's keep moving before I get all teary-eyed. This is day 3. This is the very last day of the con. Everybody's hanging out. Everybody's tired at this point. I mean, we are all exhausted by day 3. I mean, you figure we have to come in early Friday, set up the booth, be at the booth all day. We literally don't take breaks. If you've ever worked a convention before, one thing that you begin to learn is that yes, you can leave and go to lunch and have somebody watch your booth for you. But usually, for the most part, because you want to be there to meet the customers, you just don't leave. So literally Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're pretty much all at the booth all day long, on our feet, standing the whole time. There's some moments maybe you'll catch us sitting down, but for the most part, we're standing and we're talking to people all day long. And it starts at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And at least for me, because I take the train back every day, it's too expensive for me to stay in New York City overnight. So I take the train back. So my day starts at 6 a.m. to get up, to get to the train, to get to New York City before the con opens. And then to get home, I don't usually get home until 12. And then I get home at like around 11, 12-ish, somewhere around that realm. Take a shower, get my stuff ready for the next day, and then do it all over again. So we're literally working off of a few hours of sleep each day. So by Sunday, we are all exhausted. This whole crew, I don't know if you guys can tell from the picture, but this whole crew, we were extremely exhausted by the end of day 3. But it was a great time. Batman says breaks, ha 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 ha. Yeah, it's true. You don't really get breaks too much. I do love working cons though. As much of a pain in the butt it is, and how stressful it is, and how much energy it takes, it's so fulfilling working cons. At least like in the things that I do. I don't know about other aspects of convention life, but doing panels, working the booth, I really enjoy it, and I really find it fulfilling to meet other Doll Family people, throughout the progress of the con. Let's see. So that's everybody on the end of day 3. And then what do we got? Oh, so some honorable mentions. Okay. Let me go over some honorable mentions, right? So one thing that I thought was really cool, and I know My Lady Disdain touched upon this on their video as well, but I definitely want to give it a shout out on my own channel because I thought it was super duper awesome, was this next picture. Oops, sorry, went too fast. This next picture. This young lady over here probably had one of the coolest experiences that I can think of. So this young lady here doesn't own a smart doll, has never owned a smart doll before, but has always wanted one. And like most first-time owners, you saved up really hard to get your first doll, and just like I said a couple minutes ago, you always think that first doll is going to be your one doll, and you're not going to get any more because they're so damn expensive. So she saved up for this doll. She got a C2. She was one of the lucky winners because usually it's very hard for a first-time buyer to get an anime collaborated doll like C2, but she did. She got her C2. Not only did she buy her first doll and get C2, she decided not to open it. She did not open it. She left it in the box, and she brought it with her to Anime NYC to meet Danny Chu. Excuse me. So sorry. I'm like blowing out everybody's speakers. But she came here with the doll wrapped in the package to meet Danny Chu and unbox C2 in front of Danny Chu. It was a whole production. So it was like me, it was John from My Lady Disdain, it was Danny, it was I believe Keith was there too, and then this young lady and her friend that came down, and we were all huddled in a circle in front of the smart doll booth. And like she was holding, her friend was holding the box, and then I think Danny went and got like a little like key thing so that she can cut open the tape, and like so his friend was holding the box, the young lady was cutting open the box, and then she like literally pulled out the doll in front of Danny, and then he started like showing her like the different aspects of the dolls, like, oh, look at, here's the marking, this is the new hybrid body with the haptic feedback, just showing her like, like the ins and outs of the doll itself. And it was just like this super cool experience. Can you imagine your first time opening your very first doll and the creator is there showing you the things that are cool about this doll, like right in front of you in a live convention for your very first unboxing? Like, I thought that moment was special. It actually almost made me cry, to be honest. Like I was holding it back. I was holding it back. Like I was almost in tears. It was just magical. I thought that was a very cool experience. The young lady told me her name. I do apologize. I forgot your name, but you had one of the coolest experiences. Kudos to you. I really hope that you enjoy your C2 and she becomes a lifelong companion for you in your adventures of being a doll owner. Welcome to the doll family. Yay. So I just thought that was a very awesome story that I just wanted to share with the world that happened. I'm going to take another cough drop, people. Let's see. Kitten Cat Shop says, doll cons, vendors, we all end up friends at the end, but yes, eating lunch behind the table, etc. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people, like, once you work one con, and then you start working another, and then another, you'll start, like, meeting the same people. Like, I've end up making so many friends just doing panels. Like, not even, like, being a vendor. Just doing panels at cons over and over. And just seeing the same people over and over. And it's, like, you start making really cool lifelong friends at cons. You know, Batman Jackson being one of them. What's up, Batman? I see them at, like, pretty much almost every con I go to. My good friend Amanda from Frolic, see her at pretty much every con. Tempest Strife also comes to pretty much every con that I go to. Like a lot of these people that I meet that I become really good friends with, just people that come to cons a lot, and we just run into each other all the time. Kitten Cat Shop also is another duo that I seem to be running into all the time lately, in addition to their wonderful products that they sell. Cat, our day will come, Cat. One of these days, I'm gonna try and get out there to Texas one of these days, Cat. It's gonna happen. But yeah, that con life, it's a special group of people that I definitely hold dear to my heart every time I go to cons. It's just great. Anna's doing her first panel at BJD Texas on sewing and face-ups. Oh, that's great! You should definitely have fun with that. Doing panels is definitely a great experience. I absolutely love it. A lovely day. Y'all need to come to New Zealand and run into me over here. Listen, lovely. I've never been to New Zealand, but I would like to go. But damn, is New Zealand far, man? Like, New Zealand's a hike. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's 14 hours for me to get from New Jersey to Tokyo, Japan. I don't know how many more extra hours to go from there to New Zealand would be, but I would imagine maybe another 10 or 12 hours, right? Because New Zealand's still pretty far from Tokyo itself. It's like south, right? Like south, was it southeast from Australia, I guess? I'm not entirely sure. My really bad memory of geography is terrible. But I wouldn't mind going down there. New Zealand sounds fun. Kat says, or I mean to go to New York. New Zealand is at the top of my list, lovely. Magical Kit Kat face-ups. Lolly says I'm not sure. Yeah, it's pretty far though. It's pretty far, but I wouldn't mind going to New Zealand. Isn't New Zealand where they filmed Lord of the Rings stuff? I feel like that's where they filmed it, right? Or am I wrong about that? You're not going to be traveling for a long while? Listen, we need to get you on... I've been very busy, but we need to get you back on the channel for Beyond the Doll, lovely. I want to talk about your wonderful experience first time going to Japan. I think that will be a great topic, and I really want to get your insight on the things that you did and the places you explored. So definitely in the new year, we'll talk about that off the record. Try to do it sometime in January, February. So look forward to that, guys. Another thing I want to talk about for Anime NYC is this picture here. Give it up, people. Give it up. This is our lovely friends, Kitten Cat. Anna and Corey from Kitten Cat Shop. The reason why I put this picture here is because not only did John and Sandy from My Lady Disdain have their very first time, but Anna and Corey from Kitten Cat Shop had their first time meeting Danny in person. And, for anybody to meet up with Danny is just a lot of fun. And I was really happy for them to be able to meet him. In general, I'm just really happy for anybody really to meet him, because it's like I say it a lot on my channel. You gotta have that Danny Chu experience. It's an experience like none other. He's a great guy. He's really awesome to talk to. He's one of the coolest people I know. So I'm just really happy that Anna and Corey got to meet him, talk with him, and run some ideas by him, etc. And same thing with John and Sandy, for them to be able to have the experience to finally meet Danny and just kind of like talk about life and stuff. Very awesome. Very awesome. So happy for everybody. Lovely says, I still have to edit and do stuff with my footage in general. Kat, I hired a travel agent. She's going to help me get good flight deals. Nice. Oh, I know. Kat got her butt signed. Danny definitely gave her a Danny Chu. Well, I don't know if this is the appropriate saying, but he gave her like a Danny Chu tramp stamp. Like he like kind of signed like right above her butt, which is like ingenious. I should have thought of that. I didn't think of that. That's a great place. Kat says she's a friend who also happens to be a travel agent. Well, that's good. You get good deals. I wish I could have stayed longer at dinner. No, it's okay. I mean, obviously, people would like to stay longer so that, people could hang out and just keep talking. But you guys had a long trip through the whole weekend. You guys went to PA also, and you had work the next day. So definitely, yeah, I understand. You guys had to get going. That's exactly what you called it. It was. It's the Danny Chu tramp stamp. It was great. I was just like, why didn't I think of that? Like, I should have had Danny sign my doll. Oh man, but that was good times. And then the end of day 3. So, one recurring theme that happened at Anime NYC 2023. One recurring theme was everywhere we went to go eat, there were not enough tables. So like, okay, so obviously it's New York City. Obviously there's restaurants everywhere. But it is a large event that's going on. And there's other events that's going on too. Like on Saturday, there was a hockey game, a New York Rangers hockey game. So there are a lot of people just going out to eat every day. So, a lot of these places that we went to, we tried our best to get like the biggest tables so that everybody can fit and stuff like that. But it really just didn't end up working out. Like day 1, we had to split everybody into 2 tables. Day 2, we had to split people into 2 tables. And day 3, we also had to split people into 2 tables. So we figured, because, what's it called? Anna and Corey it's their first time meeting Danny, and John and Sandy, it's their first time meeting Danny this weekend. So, well, they got their own table at the last day for the burger thing, with Danny himself, just to, chit chat about stuff. And this is their picture that they had here on the left. Anna and Corey and John and Sandy from My Lady Disdain all hanging out here with Danny. And you can't see us, but like right behind Corey's head, there's another table back there, and that's where I was sitting. So it was Jay, Aichan, myself, and Keith sitting at the other table. And oh my God, did we have one of the craziest conversations. I don't know what you guys talked about, like Anna and Corey. I don't know what you guys talked about on your table, but our table had absolutely nothing to do with dolls. Like we had like oh my God, I'm laughing so much it's hurting me to like cough. We had like some crazy conversations that night for the last night of the con, like talking about like traveling and deep sea diving, and then somehow we got into a conversation about people walking around Texas with guns, and then like we got into like conversations about like world economy and women's rights in other countries, and it just went like the topic just like flowed from like one thing to another thing that kind of had nothing to do with each other. It was just like this wild hodgepodge of conversation topics. And it was a lot of fun. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not making fun of it because it was bad. I'm making fun because it was just wild how we just jumped from like all these like weird topics, from women's rights to scuba diving to threat of guns in America to like it was just crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, it was fun. We had a lot of fun on the last day. And then the picture on the right, we just took our regular photo to end our Anime NYC 2023 group meetup. Unfortunately, Anna and Corey had to leave early because they're driving back to their home, and they have a long drive, so they had to leave a little bit earlier. But yeah, we were there. We took our last picture, and that was it. And then Danny flew off into the sunset. You know, he doesn't. You know what? It's funny, Danny. You don't say that saying anymore. You used to say in your tweets or in your posts whenever you would leave on the plane that your planet needs you. I haven't seen the planet needing you in quite some time, Danny. You're forgetting your slogan when you travel out. Cat's like Baja, Texas. Yeah. We started talking about Texas, Cat, because what was the reason we were talking about Texas? Oh, okay. Now I remember. So we were talking about Texas because we were talking about different conventions around the United States, like how California has Anime Expo, New York City has Anime NYC, I think it's like Georgia has Dragon Con, Washington D.C. has Otakon, Boston has Anime Boston, and then we were talking about Texas because Texas had Anime Matsuri, I think is what it's called, is the anime con over there. It's called Anime Matsuri, and we were talking about Dallas DollCon, and somehow we broached from talking about conventions in Texas to talking about people walking around Texas with guns, because I have a cousin that lives in Texas, and you know she's one of those individuals that also owns guns in Texas, and like she carries it. She literally carries it around with her everywhere she goes. Like it's on her hip, you know. So like we were talking about how like people just go to the gas station or go food shopping, and like the guns are just exposed there, and we were just talking about how wild that is and how that would never in a million years work in New York City. Like if people in New York City were just walking around with guns on their hips, just like all exposed, like it would be absolute anarchy. And I don't know how it works in Texas, where like, but apparently it works somehow. But yeah, I think that's how we got onto the topic of Texas, and then this weird off topic about guns and stuff. But yeah, it was a very fun, interesting conversation. I really enjoyed talking with everybody. It was an immense amount of fun. I really enjoyed it. And I hope that I will have the same. I will have the ability or the opportunity to have the experience again, as I cherish these little experiences that come across in my life. But yeah, I don't want to get too teary-eyed because I always get teary-eyed when I talk about this stuff. But let's move on. So that is Anime NYC in a nutshell for 2023. That's everything that happened that at least I can remember from my recollection. I hope you guys enjoyed the stories. I hope you guys enjoyed the events and the pictures, and all of you that I met in person. I really enjoyed talking to each and every one of you. It was definitely a lot of fun, and it's always great to meet more Doll Family people. Now, before we end today's stream, obviously we have to do the Anime Corner. But before we get to the Anime Corner, let me see. Before we get to the Anime Corner and start talking about that kind of stuff, what I do want to talk about is some upcoming events that are coming in 2024 that I may or may not attend. depending on how things work out. So let's pop over to our little internet screen here. Where is it? Where is it on my screen? Here we go. There we go. So first up on the list is Katsucon. Katsucon is going to be February 16th to February 18th. Now, this is an event that's going to be in the DC metro area. I thought it was in Baltimore. I don't know why. For some weird reason, I keep thinking that Katsucon's in Baltimore. I don't know why. I don't even live in that area. Why am I so insistent that it's Baltimore? But apparently it's downtown Washington, DC in the National Harbor. I will be here at Katsucon. We will be having a doll meetup at Katsucon. Batman Jackson, you can back me up on that. We're having a doll meetup. There are plans and arrangements supposedly to get a room for the doll stuff here. None of this is set in stone. So just so you guys know, none of this is set in stone. This is all in the works right now, trying to get something together. But if you guys are interested and you want to meet up with more doll people, we are going to try to put together a doll meetup at Katsucon. I don't have a date or a time for you yet. As we get closer to the day, I'll know. I also will be hosting panels at Katsucon as well. Now, I haven't gotten my acceptance letters yet to see what panels I'm going to be doing. I did get one, though. I will be doing my sumo panel at Katsucon. That one has already been approved. But I don't know which doll panels I'll be doing at Katsucon as of yet. They haven't fully laid out the entire schedule yet, so I guess they're doing it piecemeal. But I'll find out as we get closer to the date, and I will let you guys know. But I definitely will be in attendance at Katsucon. I know Batman Jackson will be there. Kitten Cat Shop might be there. Tempest might be there. I don't know who else will be there, to be honest. But if you want to hang out and meet more doll people, I would urge you guys to come out to Katsucon this year, which is going to be February 16th through the 18th. I will, and again, like I said, I will give you out more information as we get closer to the date on exactly what's going to be happening. Batman Jackson guarantees there's 100% doll meetup. The room is what we're working out now. So yeah, so we're trying to work out a room for us to use for the doll meetup. So this will be great. If we can get ourselves our own meetup room, then we don't have to bother people in the middle of hallways or lobbies or things like that. I think that will be a great idea, and we'll have our own little place to set up things, whether it'll be a backdrop for pictures, maybe a little snack station, whatever we can get away with in this room that's allowable by con staff. We'll work things out and try to figure out what we can do with the room. If we can use the room for a game night, I will host a doll game night thing. If we can get that to work. But we'll all see. We'll see. Like I said, this is all in the works. We're all trying to figure everything out and try to get these things, these events open to you. But definitely look into Katsucon February 16th to 18th if you want to hang out, meet more doll people, and just do a Maryland, Washington, D.C. doll meetup or whatever. Tempest says, quick shout out for Ningo Bingo. We will be working through a playthrough of a BJD themed Otome game. Oh, nice. So Ningo Bingo is going to be doing an Otome game. Keep an eye out for them. Please subscribe to Ningo Bingo's channel so that you can get the most up-to-date information on that. Kitten Cat Shop says, we have a doll meetup tomorrow for our local Discord. We'll let them know about Katsucon. Fantastic. Thank you, Anna and Corey, for that. If I wasn't determined to be a gremlin this weekend, I would be tempting to drive to a doll meet. Well, that's what I was thinking about, Tempest. I was thinking about doing Doll Jeopardy for Katsucon if we can get the room. So if we can get a room together for the doll meetup, then we definitely will have an event like a Doll Jeopardy where I will be giving away prizes and stuff to the winners and things like that. So it'll be a lot of fun. But again, this is all in the works. We're working hard. Myself and, well, mostly Batman Jackson, working very hard to get this event up and going for us doll people at Katsucon. So keep an eye out for that, and I will keep you guys apprised as soon as we get more information. Okay. Let's see. The next one I want to talk about here is this one that's coming up. This is called Daigikdom Con. We did Daigikdom Con last year for myself, My Lady Disdain, Kitten Cat Shop, Tempest was there, as well as Lindsay was there. And we did our own doll booth at Daigikdom Con. And it was a lot of fun, and we met a lot of people. And we are going to do it again this year. So May 24th to 26th, Daigikdom Con at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center at the Oaks. We will be doing a giveaway. Last year, we gave away a free doll. This year, we will also be giving away a free doll. So definitely come down and participate in that action if you want to get a doll yourself or have the opportunity to get a doll yourself. There will also be secondary prizes and third place prizes, etc. for this meetup. There will also be panels that we're going to be doing. I don't know the panels as of yet because it's still a little early for panel submissions, but there will be panels for doll related content at this event. So definitely come out to Daigikdom Con if you are interested in that. Let me see. Now, next up, Anime Next. Went to Anime Next last year. It didn't do so well. So I don't know if I'm going to go to Anime Next in 2024. But if I do, it'll more than likely be sometime in June. As you can see from the website here, they haven't updated their website on the 2024 time. Unless they are not going to have a convention in 2024 because it went so poorly in 2023. Who knows? I honestly don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't know what's really going to happen. But if it does end up happening, Anime Next is very close to where I live, so I'll end up going no matter what. I'll more than likely be doing a doll panel there or some kind of panel there. But we'll see what happens. But this is tentative for now. And then the next one is going to be Otakon. Otakon is coming up and is going to be August 2nd and August 4th. This is a big convention in Washington, D.C. I love going to this convention. It's probably one of my more favorite conventions to go to. The venue is very big. It's very spacious. There's some really cool places to eat around this place. Otakon is just great in general. And if you want some good content for panels and things like that, like anime panels, Otakon is one of those cons that have one of the best selections for panels. So definitely, if you want to have fun, come out down to Otakon. If I'm not mistaken, we will have a doll booth again this coming year at Otakon. More than likely going to be in the Artist Alley, if I'm not mistaken, Batman Jackson, just like we did last year. Last year was great. We had a huge display. Thank you to Batman Jackson for setting up a very lovely display at Otakon last year. And we had a lot of people come out, check out the dolls. We also had another scavenger hunt at Otakon. We had our lucky winners that won the scavenger hunt and came away with some prizes. So if you're interested, definitely come out to Otakon in August 2nd and 4th in Washington, D.C. area. Now, it's a lot of talking tonight. Now, last up on the convention scene, and this one is a doozy. Anime NYC. In 2024, Anime NYC is going to be in August. So, I don't know why I honestly don't know why Anime NYC decided to change their date. Historically, Anime NYC has always been, since its inauguration, in November. It has been a November con. It is my favorite con to go into November because it's pretty much the con that ends the year. And I like going to cons in the fall/winter because going to cons in the summer heat is just terrible. Also, traveling with dolls in the summer heat is terrible. So I don't know why Anime NYC changed their date to August, but this also makes August very busy because the first week of August is Otakon, and then it looks like the last week of August is going to be Anime NYC, which is 2 cons in 1 month. Now, obviously, they're 2 weeks apart, so you can definitely attend both, but that's a lot of money to pay to go to 2 cons in the same month, and it's 2 gigantic cons in the same month. I don't know. I have zero information. So I do not know if Smart Doll or Danny Chu will be going to Anime NYC in August in 2024. They haven't mentioned anything of that nature if they are going to be back for that. They did mention that they are looking at other conventions to go to in 2024. However, even though I know those conventions that they're looking at, I do not have permission to divulge that information. So do know that if you're looking forward to meeting Danny Chu at some conventions in 2024, he is planning on going to some, but we are refraining from mentioning what cons they are because we don't know, obviously logistics wise, whether or not they will be able to go. But do know that there will be, I'm thinking, more than one in 2024. He already did hint on his channel or on his Instagram or whatever, that he's coming to the United States in Seattle in January. But other places that he's going to, it's just not set in stone yet. So we'll refrain from talking about that until we get closer to that date. But yeah, Anime NYC in August is terrible because the last week of August is usually the hottest week of August. It's also really bad because the last week of August is also when people go back to school. So some schools start the last week of August. Also, if you're a college student and you go to university, the last week of August or the second last week of August is when you move into the dorms. So a lot of people are moving into their dorms, especially if it's their freshman year of college. Their, parents are coming down, taking days off to move their kids to the dorms. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that happens the last week of August. Like, school's coming back. School's starting up the first week of September for some people, and usually the last week of August or the second to last week of August, they do a lot of the back to school shopping, where people try to go on their last minute vacations before school starts. So I really don't understand why Anime NYC is pushing for the last week of August. It's very unfortunate. Hopefully in 2025, they'll move it back to November and they won't keep it for the August selection day, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Anime NYC is a great convention, and I would really hate to see it suffer because of bad timing or selection. But then again, I'm not an analyst. I don't have statistics. I don't have figures to back any of this up. So I could really just be talking way out of my hoo-ha and get all this information wrong, and then the August move might be the greatest thing that has ever happened to Anime NYC. Who knows? But those are my typical concerns about the move for Anime NYC in August. Oh, Marie Velez, you're planning on going to Otakon this year? Great, that would be awesome. I would love to meet you in Otakon. Tempest says, I enjoyed Otakon this year despite getting COVID. Oh my god. Otakon this past year was just weird because everybody was hanging out at the doll booth at Otakon this last summer. And I swear to God, the whole artist alley, everyone's phones went off at the same time. Everybody got these emergency warning on their phone because apparently while everybody was enjoying the convention, there was some tornado or something or hurricane happening outside. And like we didn't hear it. Like we couldn't hear anything in the con, but like apparently the phone was saying beware of flying objects. I was like, "What?" That was definitely a crazy thing that happened that year. Magical Girl Kit Kat is trying for Otakon. Ooh. Kat, you and Ben are coming out to Otakon? Dude, that would be amazing if you guys come out to Otakon. There is this lovely Cuban place that I want to take you guys to. It is amazing food. But yeah, if you're coming out to Otakon, let me know. That would be a lot of fun. Tempest says, not sure how much I can do other than Magfest and Daikiton this year. And due to the Japan trip. Hey, listen, Tempest, Japan trip takes precedence. That definitely takes precedence over anything else because Japan is amazing. Everybody should definitely take a trip to Japan and experience it for yourself. That place is just, it's a tourist dream for tourists, at least. I don't know about living there because I never lived there, but visiting as a tourist, Japan is amazing. I loved every minute of my time there. Kitten Cap Shop says, again, DC is our backyard, so welcome to stop by. We definitely will, Cat. Kitten Cat. Oh, PAX Unplugged was this weekend? I didn't know that. Yeah, Tempest is going to Japan. I don't know. Tempest, when are you going to Japan? I forgot when. I know you told me, but I couldn't remember. Crip says, hey, since we are talking about cons, and I don't mean to bring down the vibe, however, I think it's important people do not support Ryan Koff. Okay. It has nothing to do with bringing down the vibe, at least not for me. It's more has to do with, I don't know who Ryan Koff is. Is that cringe? Is that somebody I should know who they are? Because honestly, I have no idea who that is. So I don't know if that brings down the vibe or not because I don't know who that is. And I feel really bad if it's somebody I really should know who it is. Because then I feel really silly. Let me see. I'm going to Google it. Oh my god. If I Google it and get something... I don't want to get something bad pop up on my Google if I Google this. The president of anime, Ryan Koff. Learn the real truth of Ryan Koff. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't put this on blast. Let me change this while I look through this. I don't know what this is. Okay. So he organized a lot of events. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with this dude. Maybe you can send me a direct message and let me know what's going on, because most of the articles that I see is just like wiki stuff, like who is this guy, blah blah blah. But if there's a bad thing about him, I don't see anything posted. Cat's like, I don't know who this is. Was that the Anime Next guy? I don't know. I honestly don't know. None of the cons mentioned are connected to him. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. So none of the cons that I go to are connected with this guy. That's good to know. It says, was Ryan Koff ever convicted of a crime? What is going on with this case? Yeah, I honestly don't know what's going on with this case. Tempest says spring or autumn for Japan. Ooh. Autumn will be nice. Japan in autumn is very nice. That's when I went. I went during the autumn time and it was beautiful there. All right, well, thank you, Crypt, for the public announcement. Everybody avoid this Ryan Koff person. Moving on. Tempest is wanting for my passport to come back so we can do our planning. Oh, the whole passport thing. I gotta get passport for the kids. But yeah, getting a passport is a pain in the butt. That's not fun. We were trying to visit Japan in October. It would be crazy if we went at the same time. Yeah, dude, Kat, if you guys are going in October, that's the best time. Because my trip was in October. And like the weather was fantastic in October. Like it was pretty much a consistent 70-75 degrees the whole time I was there. Which I don't know, to you Texans, maybe that's cold, but for me that's beautiful. Because in October over here in Jersey, it's like 40 degrees out. So 75 in Japan was really nice. I really enjoyed October in Japan. Except for the one time that the typhoon hit and I couldn't go to Idol Festival because of a typhoon. That was the only time that I did not like October in Japan. But other than that, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. PMB Sakura, I'm going to Japan in April. Oh, great. April's like middle of spring though, PMB Sakura. Is it like really muggy? Because I heard the humidity is really bad in spring. Like, I don't know for sure, but that's just what I heard. Babbitt, I hope you figure out what's wrong with your insides and heal up quick. Dude, I want to know. I've been to the doctor like 3 times already, under 3 different medications, and they still don't know what it is. Like I said, no congestion, no sore throat, no fever, none of that. But I still have this cough that just doesn't go away. Like what is with this cough? It's terrible. Magical Girl Kicksat says, that sounds magical. Coming from you is pretty funny though, because magical girl. Survived a cat 5. Oh, category 5 in Okinawa. They are prepared. Dude, they are. Like the typhoon that hit when I was there, I was on the 18th floor. My hotel room was on the 18th floor of this hotel. And when the typhoon hit, I could literally feel the building swaying back and forth. Like I thought it was going to snap in half and just like collapse to the ground. Like it was literally swaying. And then I found out later that they were built to do that. So like if the buildings were made to be sturdy and not move, then it would have snapped in half. But the buildings are actually built in a way where they're supposed to sway with the wind, so that does not happen. So yeah, I mean, Japan is prepared for that kind of stuff. But it's still, for somebody that has never experienced it before, that was scary. That was definitely a really scary, it's a really scary experience. Let's see. Linda says, sunny every day in October. Yeah, it was. It was pretty much sunny every day, except for the day of the typhoon. The day after the typhoon, it was beautiful. There was trash and like, debris everywhere because a typhoon just happened. But other than that, the weather was absolutely beautiful. Magical Girl says chronic cough is an actual thing. God, I hope I don't have it. I feel like I have it though. I had a cough for 6 months and it was chronic cough and needed special medication. Oh my God, 6 months? Dude, I just finished 1 month. Oh no. And Linda says it rained for about an hour and it was going into a shower. Yeah, like I only encountered maybe 1 day of rain when I was there in October. But other than that, it was beautiful. And other than the typhoon. Kitten Cat says, I had that cough after COVID. Basically, doctor said it was just irritated. Tesselation for a week to work. Tessalon? What is Tessalon? I'll have to look into that. Possible walking pneumonia? No, it's not. It's not pneumonia. It's not pneumonia. Okay, I went to the doctor. They tested me for pneumonia. It's not that. It's definitely not that. Hey, Keith. What's up, Keith? Welcome to the stream. First Japan trip was end of August to September. Had a typhoon on my first day and 2 more during the next 2 weeks. What? That is bad luck, man. That is bad. That's bad luck. Kitten Cat Shop says military base was on lockdown and watched locals just driving to shops in the middle of the typhoons. Too funny. That's probably because they're used to it. That's a little scary to say, but it's probably because they're used to it. Keith says, went the end of April to May. My second trip, didn't notice any humidity. I think it was about the same here in Maryland. Going to sleep now. Glad to catch up with you all and everyone. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Kat and Ben, for coming to the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of good times like talking to everybody in stream today. We had a lively conversation in stream today. It was really good. But have a good night, Kat. I'll see you in the next one. Lux, I rarely get sick, but when I do, you can bet it's longer than the usual length of recovery time. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like my immune system has gone to crap lately. Like, maybe it's because I'm not taking care of myself properly. I don't know. But yeah, I gotta figure this cough thing out because it's super annoying. Like, it's very annoying for my job, too. Because at my job, it's supposed to be quiet. And it's not very quiet when I'm coughing up a lung. Oh, that's terrible. All right, so we're at the end of today's episode. I want to do the last bit, which is Shizu-san's Anime Corner. So we haven't done this in a while because there hasn't been an episode of Beyond the Doll in a while. But today's anime choice is actually 2, and that's because the 2 of them go together. Okay, one is an old show and one is a new show. So first up, I got him, man. I gotta talk about Initial D because I'm a huge car guy. I love Initial D. It's one of my favorite cartoons or favorite anime of all time. The car animation is nice. The character designs are really sketch. They look really bad. As the seasons get older or newer or whatever, when you get to season 5, the animation for characters is much, much better. They've gotten better. But the show in general, if you like cars, you really like this show. It's a great show. And the reason why I bring it up, the only reason why I bring up this old show is because of the next one. And I love Initial D. If you haven't watched it and you like cars, watch it. The reason why I bring this up is for the next one. MF Ghost. So MF Ghost is a brand new anime show that just came online this season. And I believe it's up to episode 8 now, or episode 9 right now. And the reason why I say MF Ghost is because MF Ghost continues Initial D. So if you've watched Initial D, which is 5 seasons and 2 movies, if you watch all of Initial D, it ends at this certain point where I'm not going to give it away, but the way it ends, it leaves it open that something could happen. It's an open ending, basically. And years later, like literally years later, we have this follow-up sequel called MF Ghost. Why couldn't they do Initial D season 6? I don't know. I guess they wanted a new start. So MF Ghost follows the story of Initial D. So far, I've only seen to episode 5, and you already, up to episode 5, meet quite a few characters from the original Initial D. Like, so a lot of the original characters in Initial D exist in this world. They're still alive. They're still up and kicking. It's just probably by episode 5, we haven't seen them all yet, but we've seen quite a number of them already. And obviously there are new characters like in this picture here that you could see for the cover. And these are all the new characters that are introduced in the show. And because the original Initial D was based off of the AE86 Toyota Trueno, MF Ghost is now based off of the GR86 Toyota. So it still follows the AE86 or GR86 line of cars, except the difference now is instead of a 11 or a Trueno going up against a Toyota Supra, a Honda Civic, a Skyline, now it's getting even crazier because the GR86 is going up against a Ferrari GTB, a Lamborghini Huracan, a 911 Porsche, a Porsche Cayman, Toyota Supra, a G35 GTR. It's going up against supercars now. Like, if it was going up against other street cars, now it's going up against supercars. So it's a crazy, crazy show. If you like car shows, then you're gonna like MF Ghost. And and you're gonna get addicted to the soundtrack because every Initial D soundtrack, it gets me speeding tickets if I listen to it in the car. So I am absolutely banned. My wife has banned me from listening to any Initial D music when I'm driving, because I get speeding tickets. So I can only listen to Initial D music when I'm exercising or like running, and that's like the worst because then I end up running too fast because I'm hyped from the music, and I don't breathe properly, and then I only make it a couple hundred feet before I'm like too tired, and then I just can't finish running anymore because the music just gets you pumped up, just gets you so pumped up, like it's so bad. But yeah, that's my recommendation for this week. That's my anime thing. If you like Shizu-san's Anime Corner, I highly recommend Initial D, and then I highly recommend MF Ghost. Now, here's the question. Do you have to watch all of Initial D in order to watch MF Ghost? No. MF Ghost is its own contained story in the same universe with the same characters. But if you've never watched Initial D before, they do a lot of explaining in the beginning of MF Ghost. So you do not have to watch Initial D in order to enjoy MF Ghost. You can watch it as its own standalone show. And all the things that you want to know, or all the things that happen in the past in Initial D, they reference to and they talk about in this show. So if you've never watched it, you're going to find out about it anyways. But if you are a fan of Initial D and you watched everything of Initial D, you're going to like MF Ghost a lot. I think it's really great. And if you've never watched any of it, watch MF Ghost anyways. You might like it. You do not need to watch Initial D in order to understand this. Not at all. So definitely add it to your queue. And that's my recommendation for anime in Shizu-san's Anime Corner this week. All right. That ends up today's episode. I actually thought that this episode will end so much shorter than what it was, but I ended up talking way too much about my little intricacies of Anime NYC, like more than I expected to. But it was great talk. It was a great time talking to everybody. As you guys know, I am the tangent king. So I always start with one topic and then run off to another topic and another topic and another topic. And the original topic always gets lost somewhere in translation. And I do apologize about that because I know that style of talking is not for everybody. And it could be very confusing and annoying. And I apologize for that. But that's just me in a nutshell. I'm not perfect. Yeah, sorry. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. And if you weren't able to watch this live on the stream, please enjoy the VODs. I hope you enjoy it. And next week is going to be the Doll Symposium. We're going to have more news to talk about next week, as there were a couple things that already happened this week that I really, really want to talk about. And I can't wait till next Friday to talk about. And then after that, we are going to have our last episode of Beyond the Doll for the year. Which is going to be, what's today? Today's the 1st, right? So 15th. So the 15th of December will be the last episode of Beyond the Doll for 2023. As usually, I take a break from YouTube. So after the 15th, I will be taking a break from YouTube for the holidays. Spend time with family. We are going to go do some traveling over the Christmas holidays. So I won't be doing any YouTube at all until probably January, like the first week or the second week of January. And we'll kick things off, I think, with a Beyond the Doll in January, and then we'll do the news afterwards. That is my tentative plan as of right now going forward. So we have one last episode of the news next week, and then one last episode of Beyond the Doll on the 15th, and then I will take my obligatory holiday break from YouTube to kind of wind down, relax, etc., and then get ready for 2024. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming to today's stream. As always, I am your host, Shizu-san, and my lovely new lady over here, Artemis, is going to hang out with me and protect me and my family from any and all dangers. As she is my warrior goddess. But thank you everybody for coming to today's stream. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It really does help out so that YouTube can like promote my video across the platform. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified for any time that I go live. There may actually be a video or two that comes out during the holidays, but it's not live. It'll be a pre-recorded video, as I have some things that I want to release video-wise, but it won't be live is what I'm saying. So I may try to put something out during the holiday season just so that you guys have some content to watch, but no guarantees. We'll see how it goes. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody for coming on the live stream and talking in chat. I had such a great time talking in chat today, and thank you everybody for watching the VODs. Please leave a comment down below if you have anything you want to ask. And that is it from me today. So have a good night, everybody. Kit and Cat Shop, take care. Luxaria, take care. Tempest, take care. Katuiza, thank you for coming to the stream, Kat. Let's see. Marie Velez, thank you for coming. Mika coming, thank you for coming. Ningyo Bingo, thank you for coming. PMB Sakura, thank you for coming. Lovely Day, thank you for coming as well. Linda, thank you for coming. Who else was here that I missed? Batman Jackson, thank you for coming. Anybody else? I think that's everybody. If I forgot to mention your name, I do apologize. I'm trying to look through the list as best I can. But thank you everybody for coming. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciate every single one of you for coming out and hanging out with me and just having a good time. So take care, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
I just miss you more than anything. It's way too quiet in the house. I'm just wasted on the couch, 'cause I don't wanna feel anything. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon. I know the hour's getting late. I shouldn't sit here contemplating. I just can't stop thinking about us. I won't forget a single thing, from drunken nights to Sunday mornings, and how you smile at me. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon. Stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon.